Happy Friday, class. This is Donnie Smith, your Capstone instructor, but also your program director for the Bachelor of Science Healthcare Administration online. I chose today to put out a different type of follow-up message because I really wanted us to get through our first 2 weeks, which are basically your introduction weeks into your Capstone project. And then now that you're getting ready to dive into the meat and potatoes of the actual project itself, I wanted to clarify a few things, answer a few more questions that have come up, but also really talk about why we have this Capstone project and why we have mentors and interviews, as there was a few people that were a little uncomfortable with the process, and I wanted to let you know why we designed it this way. So starting off, going back to the associate program in healthcare administration, it's really designed and set up for you to be an effective worker in healthcare administration and perhaps maybe a follower or a future leader. But really, the Bachelor of Science Healthcare Administration program really sets you up to be that leader in the industry. So in designing the Capstone project, I spent some time looking at other programs in the country, and I took the time to figure out what it is that they're missing in their program. When you go on to your master's degree, you'll have some type of thesis. You'll have to do a big paper that you have to defend, and when you go on for a doctorate, that you'll also have to do some type of dissertation that is going to be published. So Capstone's really no different. It's basically taking something that's unique and different. It's more of a creative project that you really take a lot of your learning from your previous classes and apply it to one project. I designed it this way so that it would be less paper writing and more working with your hands with your ideas and your creativity of designing something amazing. Our first cohort took this class last semester and did an extremely great job. Some amazing projects, to be honest with you. And there was a little resistance in the beginning, like, why do we do this Capstone project? But by the time they got to the end of it, they realized everything had a purpose, and everybody was very pleased with this project. And I'm hoping you will be too as well. So, why do we have a mentor? Well, basically, there's a few folks that do not have a job or lack really a long-term healthcare perspective in terms of their employment history. So in having a mentor, it's designed to get you plugged in to the healthcare world and find somebody to actually give you advice, to talk to you, to share ideas with, to say, hey, I like what you're doing here, but maybe why don't you think down a different path? So the goal is to get with somebody who has a lot of experience, possibly even management level, and that you can work together. This is all about building relationships. It's about networking. It's about getting people excited about what you are doing for your project. And I've actually had some people in the last class that took their project and they're presenting it right now to their employers as a way to change something or a new way of looking at something, and they're going to be very successful in what they're doing. The reason why we're doing interviews as well is because we're going to focus in on a finance manager and we're going to focus in on an administrative person manager. And that goal is also, again, networking, getting you out there, getting people excited about what you were doing, but also what we're doing here at Pima Medical Institute. My goal is when you finish this program that you have people interested in what you did and want you to come and apply it in their facility or their doctor's office as well. So let's talk about Capstone. Again, it's taking everything that you learned previously, putting it into one project. So with that being said, this week you're going to have an executive summary. So basically you're building the foundation of what it is your vision is, your mission statement, your goals, and this is what you're going to build your entire practice on, is your vision of what you're going to do and accomplish. This is extremely important because if you don't know where you're going, you don't know how to get there. And this is really a unique situation where you get to be the manager of this and share what vision it is you want to accomplish. A lot of people can be successful with this by seeing what's missing out there in the community, much like I did with this Capstone project and comparing it to other programs. What is missing in your community? What can you do? And every community is different, and they respond to people or patients differently. So this gives you a unique opportunity to talk about what you're passionate about, what you want to accomplish with your program. The next week, you're going to have a SWOT and marketing analysis. So you're going to go out there and find out where the opportunities and threats are inside your area, but you're going to also look at your own strengths and weaknesses. This is extremely important because you're going to see what it is that you need to improve on, what it is that you do best, and how to extend in that and do much better job. So you're going to identify your community and what it is, identify your competition. Also, then we're going to have a week of organizational structure, which that is why I was critical for a lot of you about, you said employees 5 to 10. Okay, so what are these 5 or 10 employees going to be doing? What's their job titles? What's their responsibilities when you did your project proposal? This week, that's where it's going to come in when you get to your organizational structure. You're going to figure out what the hierarchy is in your organization, who's going to be doing what. Then we're also going to be figuring out what products and services you're going to be providing and where you can improve and how you can improve it. Then we get into a marketing week where you're actually going to create sales material, flyers, brochures, radio marketing campaigns. Record yourself doing a 30-second demo that you would hear on a radio or a television site. It's a really unique week. And as you can see, the theme here, we're grabbing a lot of content from previous classes. We'll also have a finance week. I'm going to give you a budget, and you're going to get to go shopping with it and decide how you're going to create your facility from the ground up using your budget. I find that extremely exciting. It's just like going on a shopping spree. But you got to think wisely in terms of salaries you're building, and what's going to go into getting started, and realizing that you're not going to make a profit up front, that you may be in the red, and then you got to work your way out of the red back into the black. So this is an extremely important week. There's going to be a week about approvals. What are your state regulations? What are your accreditations? What do you got to do in order to open up a business? And that's a great week. And then finally, the final week of your Capstone project is talking about hiring and retaining these employees. This is great because then you get to decide what type of people you want working for you. And you get the power and control of that. And then you summarize it all together in one final PowerPoint presentation, which I think is extremely important and awesome to do. And then this is how you're going to present this to your classmates, to me, and anybody else that's going to look at your Capstone project. So I'm hoping that I had a chance to really talk about what Capstone is and why we're doing it. After your Capstone project, we're going to jump in and we're going to do a portfolio. We're going to do a LinkedIn page. So that's why I gave you a heads up in your early announcements that if you don't have a LinkedIn page, now's the time to start creating one and doing one. Get a feel for how LinkedIn works, because we got a great assignment that's going to help you out for that as well. And then lastly, we're going to do a little bit of something for your resume to get you out there and get you started. We want you to take your new earned Bachelor of Science Healthcare Administration degree and apply it to your resume, and we're going to apply it to jobs as well too. So this is it. It's a 15-week journey. We're 2 weeks into it already, completed, and the goal is to have a lot of fun and to make it interactive and exciting, a lot less paper writing, a lot more creativity and doing things. Keep in mind too, lastly, your interviews coming up are from August 9th to August 19th. I'm giving you 2 weeks to knock out at least 2 interviews, a finance person and also an administrative person. Extremely important. If you have wonderful success with this, you don't have to stop at 2 interviews. You can do as many as you want. And actually, the more that you do, the more networks and bridges you're building and creating new relationships, professional relationships with people that you may need to work with in the future. That's the goal. It's getting you a job, getting you to successful, getting you to your career and academic goals. So if you have any questions, let me know. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. I enjoy working with you, and I answer questions pretty quickly. And if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, this is Donnie Smith, and I'm looking forward to working with each of you moving forward in your projects. Take care, and I hope you have a great weekend. See you.